We'll pull up the flyer so I have all the info. We can talk about all these great artists. You ready? All right. This is the Mission Pod. We are back. Let's get a little music going there in the background. All right. My name is Swerve36, Old Granddad, Big Brown Eye, Big Butch. We're here tonight with Iconic Productions, Chris Cano, DJ Nina, and I'm so happy to sit down with you guys, and I'll introduce you further and talk to you in 1 second. I just want to get this stream going and get time for people to get in so we can talk to them about this wonderful event that's going down November 6th. Y'all tap in and get your tickets. We'll tell you when and how in just a few minutes. It's been a big week in Arizona hip hop for me. It's been a troublesome week. You know, me, I start trouble every now and then. I really just speak my mind and give my opinions on Facebook. And a lot of times people think that is somewhat troublesome or problematic, as they may say. I don't believe that's the case. But that's what people tend to say about me. And I'll figure out where the cameras are in a minute and talk to all the people out there. Please tap in, comment, and share, as tonight we will be talking to Iconic Promotions about a huge show that's coming to Phoenix next week, November 6th, at the Fear Farm. And we'll get the information going. As soon as I get this stream going, we'll give everybody time to tap in to the show. And we'll get some commentary going. We'll learn about the show. We'll talk to each of these individual players in the show. Chris Cano being the overseer, the CEO, the head man in charge. DJ Nina being one of the most talented DJs I've ran into in the Phoenix area. Now, I haven't ran into everybody, so please, other DJs, don't take offense to that. But this young lady is a powerful DJ, and she's a real DJ and represents that in every way. Shout out to Trill. We've been talking about Trill all night. Check out Trill for your real hip-hop needs. That's a great store that's representing hip-hop in a major way. So now we post that, and now I can share that. And so if we'll, as the music dies down a little bit, we'll get a little applause going for Iconic Productions in the house tonight. Thank you so much, Chris Cano and DJ Nina, for coming in. Don't worry, you'll be, we've got a cameraman, we've got multiple camera angles. They'll be able to see y'all out there. So I just want to thank you for coming into the Mission Pod. This is our first show back from a break in between seasons. And this is a really big show for me. I'm happy to sit down and talk to you guys. So here we are. Let me get back to this flyer. So we have the Iconic presents the Desert Blaze Fall Hip Hop Festival, Music Fest, coming to the Fear Farm. And y'all can help me out with all the details as I blow up the flyer here. Super huge West Coast legends, DJ Quick, Too Short, Corrupt, The Horseman, who just dropped a brand new project, and many more artists, many more West Coast legends, again, being brought to the Phoenix area by Iconic Productions. So thank you so much, Chris and Nina, for coming in.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, feel free to speak, and maybe Chris, get that mic a little closer. It's adjustable. Just bring it to you. Don't be shy.
Last time I was on camera, was our first 48 or cheaters. I don't remember that. And I was nervous because back then too.
I would love to see that episode of Cheaters that featured you. It was probably a mess.
I thought we ain't starting drama on this show.
I would love to see that. No drama. This is the Mission Pod. We don't do the drama. This is a positive show where we try to get to the heart of the artists and the brands and the promoters that are making the moves out here in the Phoenix area. And you are one of those people. Now, in full disclosure, we've worked together before at a couple of your shows where you've brought some of these huge West Coast legends. We did E40, Dog Pound, and excuse me for my bad memory, many other Bay Area West Coast legends. Then you brought DJ Quick, and Second to None was on the first show. But say less, you have brought West Coast legends, to me, more than other promoters, huge shows with multiple legends. And I just want to thank you for bringing that kind of entertainment to Phoenix, because not everybody is doing that. And as a promoter with such a huge lineup of major artists, that's hard to do. That's difficult sometimes. Is that difficult?
Well, I mean, it's tough. You know, I've been West Coast is still best era in music in my opinion. So I like to always pay homage and pay respect to it. So you know, I just E40 is probably my first CD. I think I may have stole it from someone else's car. When I heard Federal, I was like, that thing played over and over. One, because it was my only CD, and you know, that thing was just been a hit. I think Captain Save, I heard that song probably 10 million times, and that was just down central. So, you know, I grew up in Arizona, so I just knew what people liked, and you know, so far all my shows have been hits. So
sure,
I just like paying homage to that.
Sure. After you've done a few of these shows, do you get a certain amount of respect when you reach out to these gentlemen because they're aware of what you're doing?
Yeah, you know, I get people that call me. Even I don't like name drop, but the guy from True Med, he was, you know, someone was trying to introduce me, kept blowing me off. He went and sat down with E40, and E40 told me he only comes to Arizona if I'm throwing the show. And
incredible.
You guys called me after that, said, "Hey, we need to do work together." I was just laughing.
That's a different kind of respect. I mean, I knew from your posts and from your social media presence that you do get a lot of respect, but I wanted to talk about it so that the people know it. I know it. I want the people to know it. But that, what you just described, is a different level of respect of business and how good business connects, right? Your business with E40 is making business for you with TrueMed. So that's a great thing, and that shows the respect that these guys have for you. You know.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, I'm still a fan at heart, and you know, when I get text messages from these guys, I'm still like, oh, I get a little fangirlish. Take a deep breath, and you know, it still feels surreal, but you know, still having a.
Because on some level, this is your show. You put it together. You arrange the financing and the venue and the security and the entertainment and the vendors and the local acts and the stage managers, DJs, hosts. You put all this together, and I see you have Tone the Superstar hosting. He's been doing a good job promoting the show.
Yeah, he was through another business partner of mine. He asked me to do it as a favor.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm not tapped into the younger hip hop crowd, so
Understood.
I didn't know who he was, and then you know, I'm glad he brought me to his attention. But you know, just getting to know all the local acts.
He's definitely a personality that's very charismatic. That is good. He will bring a good energy to the show, I think.
Yeah, so we're gonna mix it up there with some people, some new blood here, and that's why I got DJ Nina, who I've been following since she's 12 years old, and was a big fan. And you know, these shows sometimes they just get overwhelming, where you get caught up in, you know, every detail from hiring the security.
Sure, it's a big deal. People don't understand if they've never done it. That's why I like to highlight.
I actually had to quit over $100,000 a year job just to manage this festival, so not too many people do that. But you know, then still I just got lost, and then somebody brought me Nina. I was like, oh God, I was so excited. They thought I was joking. No offense to the DJ. I'm like, that's the last person I hire. You know that. I'm like,
sure. We'll figure that out later. It's no big deal.
Whoever pops up on there. But I talk to her dad every day. I'm more excited about the DJ on this one here. So you know, right now I'm glad she's the face of Iconic on that stage right now. And thank God it's not me, right?
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about DJ Nina. DJ Nina, he said he's been watching you DJ since you were 12. I became aware of you in the last couple of years. When did you you're a young person. People will see that when they watch this. When did you actively start DJing?
I think around 11 years old. Like the thought of DJing came at 11 years old because I grew up with lowriders and stuff and a car club. Like my dad's in a car club called Majestics.
Okay. And shout out to Majestic Car Club. No
mainly
doubt.
Them what is it? I remember I told my dad, I was like, I want to be a DJ because I was listening to music like, you know, West Coast, oldies, all that stuff. And so I've seen DJs at car shows before, so we just like we never DJ. None of my family DJs, so we kind of you know, went with it. And from there we just continued. I don't really know how to explain much of it, but we just kind of continued with it.
Well, let's start with being a person of that age and in the day and age. How did you begin to learn hip hop? How did you watch videos? Did you just listen to music? How did you begin to learn? How did you learn to DJ? I guess
honestly, my dad knows a lot of history of hip hop because he used to always keep up with everything, especially because he grew up with the era. So when I was little, he would always before I even had the thought process of being a DJ, he's like, you know the story behind this song and all that, or he's like, oh, you know the original song to this one.
Wow.
Oh my God, he went off all the time, and it kind of just stuck with me. And I got bad memory, but for that I can remember that clearly because the way he would describe it and all the stories and stuff. So being a DJ, it's I don't the music that I play and stuff. Every song has a memory with it, and it's I don't know. It's really nice to play it.
I appreciate that. And usually when I talk to people, it's an uncle, it's their mother, their father. It's it's somebody that turns them on to hip hop. Especially when you being such a young person. No offense, but you are very much versed in authentic DJing, classic hip hop. a lot of people your age maybe wouldn't be aware of some of the artists on this show, but you are. And I think that's another just thing aside from your age and being a female. I think your knowledge of hip hop is incredible, and I just think it's great that they got you on this this event. And I know Unique Divine reached out, and Chris reached out to you, and I'm happy to have you involved because I think it's very important that we tie the classic hip hop with the younger generation, and we bring all these worlds together to just really enjoy a great hip hop show, which is what Iconic is bringing to the Valley. And let's get some details. Let me get back from my sharing and get back to this flyer because I want to get all the details extremely correct. So, we've got Corrupt, we got DJ Quick, we've got Razzcast, we got Compton's Most Wanted, we've got Spice One. You know, this is a roll call of an extremely incredible lineup of West Coast artists. You know, and this, I think this show looks bigger than the other ones you've done. Would that be the case, Chris?
Yeah, this show's huge. It's taken off, and you know, I was surprised how big this show actually got, especially when I added Corrupt, Razzcast, and added Mr. Capone on there. Just had a little bit of different angle to the show, especially, you know, being a West Side crowd. Just wanted to add Mr. Capone on there, which, you know, he is a good guy, but, you know, he bugged me to get on the show, and that's, you know, this another part that's surreal. These guys have been listening to the radio for years, and they're,
well, you know, working around you, it seems that way. It seems like you have garnered a reputation in California with these legends, and they know you, and it seems like the people that work around them that don't know you want to know you because they want to be tapped into a good promoter that pays and brings people and puts on a good event, and that's all a part of it, and you have done that repeatedly. Too Short, DJ Quick, The Horsemen are coming with Corrupt, Razzcast, Mr. Capone E, Compton's Most Wanted, RBL Posse, X-Rated, and Spice One. And then we have special guests, Lazy Dub, Young Al, and the Smeared Lipstick Crew, which I love. Smeared Lipstick Crew. To me, they're like the female Wu-Tang. So I love them. Now, this is all going down November 6th. Gates open at 4 p.m. Food trucks will be there. 18 plus events. That means if you're 18 and up, you can come to the event.
With our shows, we've always let all ages in, so we've never really discriminated, just for the fact that it's not too many young kids are going to come in that are hip hop fans. I think we got this one right here and maybe a few more.
Sure.
But, we're actually offering the 4 to 7. We're going to do a happy hour. I'm going to release that tomorrow. So people get early check-in, no lines. We're going to have the performance from the local stage. So everybody from the local stage is going to be able to put, you know, Arizona hip hop on the map, which I want to change the game up a little bit since, you know, I try to be an innovator when it comes to the hip hop scene here. So I gave everybody an opportunity to, you know, be screened and gave everybody no slot charges. Let's get everybody.
Now that's a different thing. So now that you've brought it up, let's talk about that. You, from the jump, it seemed like you reached out to some Arizona artists. I guess you auditioned to at least listen to their music to see who you wanted to work with. I don't know. Maybe Unique Divine made the call. But the point is, usually from what I see in Arizona promotions, the promoter would be charging an extremely large, not just a ticket, but an extremely large price tag for these local artists to perform on such a big stage, such a big platform with such big West Coast legends. Now, what led your decision to not, you know, I mean, if you've got a show like this, other people have paid $500 to $1,000 to perform on, and I know that as a fact because I'm out here talking to these artists. What led you to want to do that for the local artists and not charge them?
When I first got into the business, I mean, I've always been a fan of music. I tell people I can't rap, I can't DJ. I bought a DJ equipment. I said I'm going to learn. That thing got dust on it faster than you could imagine. I'm like, that thing never got touched. I tried it.
First few years of DJing, that's hard.
It was terrible, and I lost interest really, really quick. But I love music. I mean, music is just everything to me. So I sat down with some local promoters, and basically they all spit the same spiel to me. They're like, here's how it's done in Arizona. We don't really promote. We don't play the radio. We get everybody to give us this money. I get 10 guys on stage. I make $5,000 before the show even starts. I give them double the tickets. I give about $1,000 of tickets. I have them promote the show and their success. Like, it's basically, what do you do? And I've been to a few of their shows, and basically we get crowds of 200 people in there, and by the time the headliner's on, all the people that paid to see their friends, they're all gone, and to the next show and the next party, and basically he's got 4 people around these headliners. And
I think the problem with that is when you focus more on selling the show to the artists instead of the fans. So what you're describing is a lot of the individual artist fans leave when they're done because they're not fans of the headliner, or they're not fans of the overall show. And I've seen that happen before. I don't want to call out anybody specifically, but that's definitely happened, and it's definitely a problem. Do you feel like that you're gaining extra love and respect from the local artists for this?
I think it's still new to everybody. Everybody's still brainwashing the old way of doing things, so they just don't know how it's done yet.
Sure.
In my opinion, when I sat down with people, I mean, the reason I lost respect, I'm like, these guys are struggling. They're trying to put their music together, and you're taking all your. To me, I'm like, you're being a leech off these guys. I mean, that's like a broke Barry Gordy to me. I mean, you're just gonna leech off these people, take what you can get, and run off. And this is their artwork, their craft, something I definitely couldn't do, and I have so much respect for. So I just want them to get the opportunity to shine. And
maybe you do have a different or more respect for it because you're not, actively a participant. You're a fan and a promoter, and you're not. I think sometimes people that are DJs or artists may not respect the other artists in the same way. So I appreciate your respect in that way.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I love the music, but it's just the artwork and basically the passion that they put in their projects. I couldn't see myself taking $500 that they could put into, themselves and growing themselves and getting on the spotlight, but. It's tough. They're still brainwashing the old way of doing things and thinking it's the right way to do. And being on a show like Desert Blaze, I mean, I haven't had a show that's under 4,000 people. So getting your product in front of 4,000 people, I thought they should be lining up. So the fact that they weren't, it was,
Well, like you said, it's kind of a new way of doing things, and they might just not be used to it, or they may not. It may sound too good to be true sometimes. A lot of things on the internet are too good to be true, and it may sound too good to be true, even though to me it's a very real thing, and they should tap in. DJ Nina, you've had a lot of experience. We've talked before the show, and you've had, actually, for your age, you've had a lot of experience. You've played in stadiums and arenas, and you currently have worked for Nike, which you so eloquently, subtly dropped that flex while we were talking. And I work for promoters on Glendale Ave, and you work for Nike. So congrats to you. You have far surpassed my accomplishments.
It was a 4-day event. I had schooling. Okay, it was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For Friday and Thursday and Friday, my teachers are like, "Why are you so in a rush?" I'm like, "Well, I gotta go DJ for Nike." So yeah. How
do your teachers and classmates take you as a DJ once they figure that out?
I'm more of a person that I don't really talk much about what I do sometimes. There's some teachers that know, probably my math teacher, because he's my last hour and I just talk a lot in that class.
Right.
But the majority of the people that I met, they don't know what I do yet. It's more when I'm comfortable with them. But whenever they find out, they're chill about it. I don't know. They brush it off as a normal thing. That's why I just make things that sound like it's a normal thing.
Right. Well, and I'm sure it has become normal to you. So that might make it hard to talk about, because to everybody else, even me as a DJ, you being as good as you are at such a young age, that's not normal. And I want you to know that you are special. So if you haven't heard that before, that's the truth. I'm tell you that.
Real quick, I remember at her age, and I started following her 12. She's probably doing it before.
Yeah.
I remember I snuck into a battle of DJ, and Joe Cooley was there, and all the DJs. There was a small club at Confetti's. I don't want to say my age. That shows how old I am. And I snuck in there. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I could imagine being her age, doing what I was actually sneaking in to watch. That's when I fell in love with hip hop, was that second. And,
right.
That's why she thinks I'm joking. And you've DJ'd for me. I mean, I've never been this excited about a DJ on my show, and I think me and her dad talked for about an hour a day sometimes. So it's, I'm really excited. So
that's awesome.
I get the fan part comes out of me, and I forget, I'm not the promoter, I'm the fan here, and I'm, the cheerleader for,
for her here. It makes a good promoter. I've met many promoters, and the thing about you, it's really comfortable knowing that you focus on every single talent and stuff like that, because most of the time they focus on the main act. They don't focus on the little things, and when they focus on the little things, it makes everything more better and more comfortable.
Sure. That's the power of refinement, and I will agree. Through working with Iconic, they've all been huge shows. I know Celebrity was a sellout. I don't think y'all even could fit everybody in the building that wanted to get in.
They were rushing the stage.
There were people waiting to get in that couldn't get in. It was too packed, and We won't. I don't want to deal with any negative stuff. I know sometimes with big shows, there's problems. There's always some problems. But the show went off without a hitch. If you were in the crowd, you never knew there was an issue, and that's another great sign of a good promotion. Is that the people had fun, the artists had fun, and I mean all the way up to E40 and Dog Pound. I spoke to Corrupt and thanked him for coming as a big fan of Dog Pound. The Dog Pound group. I grew up on the East Coast, but so we had very much a love of West Coast music, even though it was, from afar. We didn't understand the sun all day. We didn't understand having to wear a jacket when it looked sunny because we were on the East Coast, But when you move out here, you understand it could be beautiful and still a little chilly at the same time, So these are all the things we had to learn about West Coast hip hop from the East Coast. And I thank you because I've got funny stories where I've met DJ Quick, second to none. I got to meet E40 in working with his DJ, setting up for him at Celebrity Theater. So these are names and people that I've admired my whole life, and I've been able to meet because of Iconic Production. So I just want to say thank you for that.
I got to make sure the icons come out for Iconic.
It's like a fringe benefit. It's like a fringe benefit of working with you is that you have so much respect with these other artists. And, speaking to Celebrity Theater, I went backstage to get something straight with E40's DJ, and E40 had an entourage. Oh, yeah. He had 20 or 30 people with him, I'm sure.
The funny part on that show, I was telling people, I think about 15 rappers were there that weren't even on the building. They pulled up, and I was getting calls on the earphone, this person, and I knew what they drove. Yeah, like, let them in. I mean, they were just there just to see the show, and
right.
We had Terrell Suggs. He comes to all my shows, and
that's the kind of energy you create by bringing these legends together. Because even people that are entertainers, or even people that are known, I'm sure Compton's Most Wanted they might have had some beef. I don't want to get into names, but I'm sure artists at this level are even still fans of each other.
Well, if you remember correctly,
I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't remember correctly, but there were some issues back in the day.
MC8 and DJ Quick on the show intentionally because they had a 20-year beef. Now, I'm a fan of Rosecrans, which is a very unknown album of DJ Quick, but they've done 2 songs on that one. But, they're friends.
They got over it.
They got over it a long time ago.
Good.
But people just remember the beef. But I wanted to put them intentionally as co-headliners. And, went off well. I mean, it was great. And if you look at some of the pictures, DJ Quick made his way from the backstage just to watch him perform. So it's, a lot of respect they had for each other.
One funny story from that night, I DJ'd, and like most DJs, you get hot. So I brought a towel.
Yeah.
Now, I made a mistake. I didn't bring a new towel. It was a towel that was already in my car. But I had it. It was my towel. No worries. I didn't feel like anybody else would need it or use it. And that towel was my towel. I want to make that clear. And because it was old, it smelled. Right? I just want to be upfront and blunt. It smelled. Now, while I was DJing for DJ Quick, he was performing. He got sweaty. He was looking for something. He walked past the DJ stand and picked up my towel. Now, at first I thought, oh, man, that's a smelly towel. But he picked it up and he wiped his forehead or whatever. And here's the funny part. The crowd got excited, especially some ladies in the front row. So he gave one of them my sweaty towel.
Your towel's hanging on someone's living room.
Now listen, right. Now listen. That towel, let's be honest, that towel was filled with my funk. That was, in fairness to DJ Quick, that was not his funk. He only wiped his forehead with it one time and then handed it to the women. Now this is where I feel bad. That woman took that towel home. She probably got it signed if she had the availability to. And she took that towel home. I guarantee she never washed it, and she has it to this day. And it's my smell sitting in her room. So
her whole thought is like, oh my God, it smells like him.
She's like, yeah. She's like, wow, DJ Quick smells very much like an old white guy. This is terrible. But anyway, that's my funny story. Right, Brute 33. You're an old guy. Remember Brute 33? Aquavelva, right. So that's my funny story. You never know what's going to happen with your DJing, especially when you're DJing for legends. And that's just one of the great times I've had working with Iconic Productions. And the great times are going to be had this Saturday, November 6th, at the Fear Farm. Let me get back to my flyer so I can give this information correctly. Now, the tickets are available on Eventbrite. underscore or slash, however they do it, Desert Blaze. So if you go to, I've got the information right here to give it 100% correct, desertblaze.eventbrite.com or iconicaz.com. Either one of those places you can get tickets. It's going down November 6th. I believe they still have VIP tickets available.
Yeah, we have VIP. It's just a whole section. It's gonna be huge.
The VIP section is going to be a big deal at this event. I can tell that. So if you got a little extra cash, I would go ahead and get the VIP.
Well, they also get a couple free. They get a free T-shirt that's going to be pressed at the event. So
nice.
They get to choose their shirt and get it pressed.
You get your choice of a couple designs.
Yeah, a couple designs.
Excellent.
Maybe get tank tops.
That's different.
Of course you do.
Okay.
You get whatever you want. Yeah. You get whatever you want. Just to go over the lineup, Too Short all my life, since 1986, 85, has been a West Coast legend. DJ Quick started on Profile Records, did an incredible amount of work with Death Row Records, has always maintained himself as an excellent artist and a man of integrity and incredible music. The Horsemen are coming with Corrupt. I hope that Corrupt is bringing all the Horsemen. That's of course Rascast is already coming, so that's Corrupt, Rascast, Cannabis, and Killer Priest. Now Killer Priest's cousin, who is his DJ, and I were in a rap group in Richmond, Virginia in 1993.
Wow.
So I heard Killer Priest's song The Bible, which is his best song ever, and I heard that a couple years before it came out because they were related, and then he ended up signing and coming out and being a huge star. So I would hope Killer Priest is going to be there because we know each other. He might actually know me. That's the one person I can say I know,
Man, with that many West Coast legends out there, you know how close it was. I'm a fan of Wu-Tang. That's going to be my next show. I'm going to get Wu-Tang, whether it be my next couple shows.
Oh, man, that would be a big deal.
I'm already working on it.
I'll pay you to be involved in that.
Oh, man, I watch Wu-Tang. I watch Mike and Men like 18,000 times.
Their price might be a little high right now with the show out.
Iconic. You don't worry about that.
We don't worry about prices. Okay. Silence. Say less, Swerve.
Getting them there. So,
say less, Swerve.
Yeah, we got some negotiations to bring Mount Westmore. So, I mean, I got some stuff in the moves.
Cool.
The works.
Cool.
Trying to bring some, I better not say their names because people try to steal them since my shows are hits.
Yeah, there is a bit of that. When you come up with a good concept, there is a bit of a problem of people taking ideas.
I don't know, man, because, there's not enough slots they can sell to pay for these guys, so.
It's tough. That's tough.
They have to sell slots.
That would have to be an all-day show to sell enough slots to pay for Wu-Tang.
Slots to get those shows. So I don't know how worried I should be.
Just so we're clear, the Fear Farm
show.
No, it's not a I wish I had my gunshot. Bow! That was a shot right there.
Riff Raff for the third time in the Valley.
Bow! That was a shot. Some
Monarch, upper stage.
Some artists do come a lot. More than others.
I never knew what a Riff Raff was. I was like, what the heck's a Riff Raff? And I see this guy, I'm like, holy crap, is he sing country or what is this guy?
He's a different thing. He looks like Theo Vaughn and Randy Macho Man Savage mixed together. But that's
he's got wear Zumbas on stage.
He's got his own crowd. He's got his own crowd. That's their thing.
2 people? I see 4 people at the show, so that's wait, we're not.
No, it's all right. Chris is cold blooded. We're trying to keep it sweet. Let's go over the details. November 6th, Fear Farm. 2209 North 99th Ave, Phoenix, AZ 85037. Tickets are available at iconicaz.com. That's IKONICAZ.com. Get it straight, Swerve. Say less.
Desert some radios from some guy in Texas or something.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. Desert Blaze. We don't want to be confused with any foolishness. This is real business. This is a big show. Family friendly event, 18 plus. Come on in. Desertblaze at .eventbrite.com or iconicaz.com is where you purchase tickets. There's VIP packages. There will be several mini food trucks available. Gates open at 4 p.m. They're doing a happy hour, which is going to be incredible. With VIP packages, you get a very own T-shirt, and there's some other bonuses that go along with that. Plus, I would say, if the artists are going to be running around, they're probably going to be in VIP. So if you want to take a chance on actually getting to talk to Mr. Capone, Compton's Most Wanted, RBL Posse, Spice One, X-Rated, Razzcast, Corrupt, DJ Quick, or Too Short. They'll all be there that day. I'm sure they'll be out and about to meet their fans. These are all great guys, and they appreciate their fans.
One thing about Desert Blaze, it wouldn't be Blaze without the Blaze. So we did partner up with Mad Turp Labs, which is Green Pharma.
Incredible.
They're going to be out there showing samples.
Right. Showing samples, so right. Big up to Mad Turp Labs. I like them. I like Green Farms.
Yeah,
I like that
you can definitely get in there and take a look in their little tent. They got a 40 by 40 tent. And,
okay.
With liquor license, I can't say much, but
Understood.
Definitely something you don't want to miss. But
Understood. Just check it out.
I stay iconic. My talent is iconic. We got Blaze, so we got to make sure we hold to that. So it's definitely gonna be an event inside an event. So it's definitely gonna be good.
Yes.
One thing for the fans, I keep it an experience, as you know. Everybody's putting barriers between the stages. I told them no barriers. Everybody's gonna be up to that stage, pressed up, and
I think the artists like that better too. Let's be honest. The fans and the artists want to be with each other.
I don't like losing the energy, like I said. So we're gonna have everybody be able to push up to the stage. They're gonna be able to see their favorite West Coast act. They're gonna be able to see the best DJ in Arizona. No offense. You might definitely. Clearly, she works for Nike. Clearly, she's played stadiums and arenas. She's the face of Iconic now. I've never.
Contract. Well, you're the next big step in her career. But
negotiations for the 10-year contract. She get a lifetime over.
Clearly, there's no competition between me and Nina. Nina, let me talk to you before you sign that contract. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
You're flunky if you work out with Iconic.
I'm just kidding. Fear Farm, 2209 North 99th Ave, Phoenix, AZ, Saturday, November 6th. The show starts at 4. There's a happy hour from 4 to 7 p.m. There's VIP packages available. There'll be a ton of food trucks. There'll be a ton of beverages. Don't worry about that. There's a ton of food and beverages. Let's talk about Unique Divine putting together this second stage. And let's talk about Greedy Gonzalez, who is a friend of mine, I would say. Yeah. He's a solid guy from top to bottom.
Just, I basically used to talk to him on Facebook and, you don't really meet too many people on Facebook. At least I don't. I'm not too friendly, but he's actually a really good guy. We sat down. He came back to the house after the first time I met him. We couldn't get rid of him. I'm making him breakfast. First time we met, I'm making him breakfast. And I'm like, I thought I was the boss here.
Well, he's got Greedy, right? His first name is Greedy, so you know. Yeah, let's just talk about, we've got some sponsors here. We've got Greedy's very own Heat City, I see down here. We got the Hatrix with Two-Tone over there. Let me blow this up so I can get everybody. Le Hair Salon is sponsoring. Salon.
It's over there on 8030.
Definitely
definitely need an appointment there. I went in there to drop some flyers off.
Okay.
People were out the door. I was like, "What?" I didn't even know this place existed. Of course.
Brown Girls Movement, of course, is in the situation, and financing. Help me out with these. I can't quite read it.
American Financing.
American Financing is on board. So we've got
great home loan friends. Those are business partners of mine. So we definitely got
Mad Turp Labs, Heat City, the Hatrick. Different sponsors from all across the city, artists from all across the West Coast, all across Arizona, so some great hosts, and the #1 DJ in Phoenix. How could this thing, with the shows you've done before, and everything that's going on, what's the biggest issue that you have day of? When the finalization, day of, what's on your mind day of, morning of?
This is going to be a flop, man. I haven't slept in.
Is there always a little bit of nervousness? When I used to promote, there was always a little bit of nervousness up until the time when it wasn't. You understand what I mean?
It's just that, is this going to be a hit? Is everybody going to have fun? I look at every comment on Facebook, good or bad. I take it personally, not to the point where I get offended. Like, I just figure out what to fix, what to change. So with me, I'm very meticulous when it comes to doing the shows, and as you can see, work with me. Everyone says this guy's kind of a jerk, but it is what it is. I'm not.
Sometimes being an effective manager, being an effective leader, it means you have to make some tough decisions and hurt people. Let's be honest, hurt some feelings every now and then. It's just necessary.
Yeah, circle gets smaller and smaller, but it's just fact is, I'm not carrying dead weight. I mean, this is right. It's a business, and some people get in, they want to be the star, the celebrity, if that's business partners.
All in the videos, dancing all on the stage.
Puff Daddy can dance, and he had a business mind. These guys are just, they shouldn't be on stage just like I should. You don't see me trying to host.
No.
You don't see me trying.
You're very much behind the scenes.
People wouldn't even know I'm the boss, but
it's a breath of fresh air that you're behind the scenes.
I'm not trying to take away from the talent. That's what it's about, putting the best talent on there. And, Bill Gates sponsors a race team. You don't feel like he's gonna go put on some running shoes and go run a lap because he's got money or got talent somewhere else. So I stay in my lane. I let the talent run it, but I just basically make sure it's and it's hard. It's hard hurting people's feelings. People just don't. they don't like the truth. And
artists especially can be sensitive, even the hardest ones, they're artists. So sometimes we're sensitive.
I tell people, I'm like, Puff Daddy, listen, I tell you a few things to change and they get offended. I'm like, you ain't made it this far. What you doing ain't working.
Right.
Why don't you try something different? And
Right.
people have a hard time understanding trying something different.
And even if you're not an artist, you deal with some of the biggest artists to come out of the West Coast. I'm sure you see patterns in the way they do business, in the way they run their show, in the way they run their backstage presence, which can be important, like we talked about with entourages and dealing with all that.
Yeah, there's some artists that I just won't work with. I heard bad things. Like, I don't say names out loud, but they show up to the show drunk. They show up with their headache.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't show up, and they're willing to do the show for $500. These are platinum, recording artists.
Sure.
It's not worth the headache of wondering, just I've never had a no show on any of my concerts. I never put his name on there that didn't show up to any of my shows.
And that's a big deal because there has been an issue with that lately. There's been some shows where people were scheduled to perform known acts and they didn't show up, and people feel cheated, feel lied to when that happens.
Even if someone didn't show up to one of these shows, I'm like, hey, there's 9 other acts you're gonna see there rock the stage. You would never notice, but I make sure that they're gonna show up. Make sure I deal with the right people. I'm not going through sub brokers. I deal directly with the people, and like I said, with the reputation that I've gotten, it's pretty good because these people reach out to me. Funny story about Too Short. He's the first artist I wanted to put on stage. I looked everywhere for it. I called people. There are people that knew him. People just got off stage with him. Couldn't get a hold of that guy, so I got a hold of him. I was like, holy yeah! I'm running around the house, basically in my underwear with a cape on, with a towel cape, running around like I'm Superman. I thought it was the greatest accomplishment ever, and it was so it was big for me. But I'm thinking, is he a headliner? And the reaction I got from the pre-sales, I was like, wow, I was blown away of how many pre-sales I got. This is the fastest selling show I've had.
Too Short, interestingly enough, he's had modern recent hits. Some of these guys, with respect to everybody, haven't had a current hit. Too Short has maintained current hits, and not only that, he with some of his current hits, I think he's crossed over to markets that he didn't hit in the past. So he's bigger. Too Short, I would say, is bigger now than he's ever been.
Unfortunately, that song with him and Q put out, "Ain't No Haters," that drew his price, that tripled his price. So
yeah.
I was like, oh man, I wish I got it before that, but.
The Mount Westmore. He's a part of the Mount Westmore. It is gonna be a monster. We've all looked forward to that.
If you ever listen to any of their hits, when you're considered one of the top 4 MCs out of the West Coast, so it's him, Cube. You got Snoop on there.
Cube, Snoop, and E40.
That truly is.
It's a super group. It's no bigger super group than that super group.
You could replace any one of them with someone else that you're a fan of, but arguably they're still the best for it.
And the fact that you have Too Short on this show while Mount Westmore, is actively coming out. They just dropped their first single, so you've got a piece of it happening right on your show.
Yeah, we've done 2 of them, and I said I'm going to do all 4 of them, but I might have a chance to do all 4, so I'm in negotiations with that right now, so we got some stuff going on.
Well, that's a big deal, man. And even though I was raised on the East Coast and love East Coast hip hop, I love hip hop, and I've always loved West Coast hip hop. I've loved the way hip hop has changed as it went to different regions and the different ways it's expressed by the different people that involve themselves in hip hop. And I really think hip hop is, it's the extenuation of Martin Luther King's dream. It's what brings us all together. You lift weights, I DJ and say dumb jokes. Like, we might have not ever ran across paths if it hadn't been for hip hop. Especially Nina being a young lady that I'm not in her world at all. She's not in my world at all. But through hip hop, we can come to a mutual understanding. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it. And I think everybody at a certain time respects that and realizes it. Now, what you can really respect and realize is that November 6th, this Saturday, tickets are selling fast. There's still tickets available. It's a big place. When you say Fear Farm, this is an outdoor festival, correct?
Event. The stage is going to be large. The event's going to be large. But
the perfect time of year to be outdoors in Arizona.
It's only the best time to say you live in Arizona is in November and December.
Right. But hey, for the snowbirds, bring your sweatshirt. When the sun goes down, it's gonna get a little chilly, right, guys? It's gonna get a little chilly when the sun goes down.
Yeah, that's the only problem. It does get a little cold, but I think by that time everybody's.
At least the weather's predictable. So
no, I love it though. I love it because I grew up loving the fall. For one of the reasons is I love to put on jeans or put on a sweatshirt, and you just can't do that in the summer out here. But that's the beauty of when the weather changes. Especially here, you can wear one outfit during the day, then go put on a whole nother fall outfit at night.
When you have to, you sweat through your first outfit.
Yeah.
If I go on vacation, I take 19 outfits. I'm on a 2-day trip.
Yeah.
4 outfit changes. You sweat through those things.
Speaking of humble flexes, Nina let us know that she's DJ'd in arenas, stadiums, and has worked for Nike before. Your social media presence, while is polite for the most part, you do have a humble flex every now and then. We see you go to Mexico. We see you, combine yourself with various different peoples. We won't get into details. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but you make social media look good. Is what I'm trying to say.
You know what? I live life. I live an extraordinary life where I'm happy. I don't run around bragging on this or bragging on that. But you know what? People say you might, but it's just I worked hard to get where I'm at, and I love my life. I love it that I get to meet people like you, work with people I've been admiring since she's 12. I better not say she's 12. So I'm like, I felt weird.
Yeah, you might want to not keep mentioning how much you admired her at 12. We know it was a DJ thing. We know it was a DJ thing, but
I got her dad here.
Yeah. Keep Dad close. Dad's cool as long as Dad's in the room. Everybody, don't worry about that. Dad's right in the room. Yeah. Yeah,
I was just fascinated. I'm like, wow, how can someone this young be first a hip hop fan and then second just just be that good? It was nuts that somebody was that good. And
DJ Nina, I won't get into details, and we're certainly not here to discredit anyone else. We just want to big you up. But I understand why everybody doesn't get into the technical aspect of DJing because it's hard. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of dedication, and I think that's why a lot of people are push button or strip club DJs because they don't want to get involved in that much hard work.
DJ Panda.
And I would say that's why it's even more surprising for someone like you to be so young, dedicated, and accomplished at such a young age because it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. Just speak to that.
Honestly, so I want to give big props to my dad. Honestly, like how I said before, the first few years of DJing, I felt like I was gonna give up, and it was hard learning everything because there's so much to learn. And then through the years, it's like back then when you were a DJ, you learn as it comes out as new. But right now you have so much, and it's it gets overwhelming.
You're so smart to say that. How did you know that? We did as a DJ growing up, hip hop and DJ, and especially cutting and scratching in the art of DJing. It evolved so much. It went from Grandmaster Flash to Jam Master Jay to Jazzy Jeff.
It started as a little scratch from the record and just went on from that.
Yes.
And honestly, I don't know, it got really hard beginning years, but my dad kept pushing me. He was like, if you want to be the best, continue going. And he would always he's not a DJ, but he would always put in his little things about his cars. He's because since he's for a long time, he's been building lowriders and stuff, and he's he would describe it as a lowrider, and that's the way I would know it because I grew up with that stuff. And he's you're not just gonna get a lowrider just like that unless you pay for it, but for DJing, you gotta continue working, see the little things in it. When we would go to car shows, my dad would point out the littlest things from a car. He's like, I need to do that, and he would do it, and he would make it better. So through the years, me and him will go through DJs on Facebook, or even at car shows. I'm always bringing up car shows, but I
no, it's okay. It's a big part of your life. We can tell. It's West Coast culture. It's West Coast culture.
I think the thing that mainly also kind of brought up more with tricks and stuff. We went to Chicano Park probably when I was 11 or 12, and I met this DJ called DJ Gonzalez. Oh my God, I loved his style, everything about it. I didn't know DJing. I was stuck with some CDJs. We didn't even know about turntables during that time, and what is it? I don't know, something about tricks and stuff, the way he was doing it. I was I didn't know DJs can do that and all that stuff. And you see, I just how my dad did with all the cars at car shows, I picked out the little things that Cazell did. I found his card years later, and I was oh shoot, I have his card. I'm gonna go through his Facebook when I got social media, and just started learning from there. Honestly, it's just you're picking out the little things. It's one thing my dad also told me is that things don't come by real quick. You have to take your time with it. Make sure that you're professional with it, and make sure you go through it well.
I think that's incredible that you learned so much from your dad and his theories, his concepts, because he, like you said, he didn't know how to DJ, but the power of refinement and paying attention to the small details was an incredibly great lesson that he taught you. And that shows and explains to me how you've become so accomplished so quickly.
Yeah, plus even when I want to give up, probably during quarantine, it was really difficult because I was mainly an outdoor DJ, a mobile DJ.
Sure.
And I wasn't really used to the online stuff. But
none of us were really.
Yeah, and then I joined a radio station called, what was it called? Yeah, Party 106. I think it was a
Okay.
Dallas online radio. It was a worldwide one. So they let me join. It was full of like young DJs and stuff. And during that time, I did online school and I was trying to manage DJing. And my dad, my dad, when he would sit down with me whenever I was feeling really stressed, and he'll give me a long lesson about how like things are not easy and like you just got to keep going with it. And sometimes he would even be like mad. He's like, well, if you don't want to do this, then just give up. Like, I don't know. He would not encourage it, but he would just say like, if you're tired of it, just give up. And man, I would be mad when he would say that. I'm like, no, I'm not giving up. I just spent years.
Man, it seems like he really knew good ways to motivate you, being your dad, and that's awesome, and it really warms my heart.
One thing I don't want to interrupt. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Help yourself.
Man, I mean, anybody that follows me on social media knows that, you know, ever since I started this, and even in my life, my daughter has been my world. She went to, unfortunately, at 16, 15, I'm taking her to clubs. She's by my side. We used to walk in, and she's talking to club owners and telling them what to do, and you know, I've, you know, with my daughter, she's always been like the second half. And when I talk to her dad and the relationship these two have, and I'm not saying that, it's just, it makes me admire these two more, just the way he talks about his daughter, the way they talk about each other. It's just, that's even makes it more of an honor to have someone like that on the squad for me because of the relationship I have with my daughter. You know, people say she moved out. I was depressed for like 5 days. And
we saw that. We went through it with you on social media.
I mean, we went through it with you. I go from financial advisor by day, hanging people off like Suge Knight off a roof at night. Then I'm at family PTA time. So, you know, I'm fortunate enough I have my stepdaughter. She goes everywhere with me now too. But I'm very family oriented first. So, you know, fortunately I'm, you know, F-bombing and doing this. But, you know, when I get off the phone with these two, it's just hearing them on speakerphone, how close they have. I mean, that makes it even more of an honor to even have them on the squad. I mean, that's something I could definitely say. Just when she talks about her dad, it lights me up the way they talk about each other, the way they're a team. It's just I'm really blessed to have that, just to be part of it, just to see that and how it evolves. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing. I mean, I tell people money could buy you a show, money could buy you this, but to have people on the team like that in the squad, just that are just genuine people like that, and just the relationship they have. I mean, that's worth everything I've done just to watch them too. And I'm not saying that because she's right here. I really get all misty-eyed when I hear that. As soon as I get off the phone, that's the first thing I say is like, God, I love the relationship. Like, it's just.
I just met Nina and her father tonight, and we had a bit of a chat while we were, you know, getting set up and waiting for everybody to show up. And his love of hip hop shines through you. And to me as a father, you know, and as much as I love hip hop, look who's here. Come on in, have a seat. Unique Divine. That's okay. Thanks for coming. We appreciate having you. You can use the headphones or not. It's up to you. You know how to use a mic. We don't need to talk about that.
When you look up MP time, if you look up the definition of MP time, this ugly face will be looking up. I'm glad I'm not the late one today.
NP time. That's a new one on me.
We minority people, Mexican people.
Oh, okay.
Same like CP time.
I got you. Understood. This week especially, I'm trying to stay away from the race. I've been through some things. How you doing, Unique Divine?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm happy to have you sit down. I'm glad you're here.
Definitely appreciate you having me.
No problem. You are in charge of the second stage. I know you've done a lot of the organizing for this event. I know you've worked with a lot of the Arizona talent for this event.
Correct.
What has been the ups and downs of that process? The good and bad.
The good would be just, you know, seeing artists really be grateful, I would say.
They should be
grateful and take it, you know, as, hey, this is an opportunity where, you know, we're going to be able to perform, you know, whether it's 6 minutes, 10 minutes, you're still going to go out there, you're going to perform. You're also going to be able to enjoy the concert, have a good time. You know what I mean? So to me, that's something where this wasn't us selling a slot to them or saying, hey, sell this many tickets for this. It was simply like, you know, you get this opportunity, and if you want to take it, great. You know, there's artists that I see been doing it for a while. Some artists, they kind of just started. So I thought, you know, giving everybody, you know, opportunity that way. The downs would be, you know, so, you know, it's just not going to be everybody's cup of tea, how things flow. And, you know, you just got to keep it moving. You know, I've been doing this for a minute, so no hard feelings. We just got to keep it pushing. Understood.
Because things have got to be done. Things are on a time schedule. Things have got to run a certain way. And sometimes, you know, things just don't fall together. To me, this is definitely the biggest show post-COVID, definitely the biggest show I've seen in a few years, and I've only been here for 4 years, so we don't need to go back too far. But to me, this is a huge event. One of the biggest shows that's come to Phoenix since I've lived here. And we spoke about it earlier, the fact that letting artists have a slot without charging them. Usually this would be a $500 to $1,000 slot for artists. And the fact that y'all set up a lot of Phoenix artists with the opportunity to hit this stage, and some are even hitting the main stage, which is incredible. So I just wanted to say to you as an organizer that that's an incredible thing, and the people that recognize it should recognize it as an incredible thing. And you know, it's a big deal. This show is a big deal. November 6th, Fear Farm, 2209 North 99th Ave, Phoenix, AZ 85037. Tickets are available at iconicaz.com, IKONICAZ.com, and desertblaze.eventbrite.com. This is and you know the show is different because there hadn't been a bunch of artists trying to sell tickets or trying to give tickets away like there usually are at other shows. You know, this show has a different feel. It has a different look to it. It's at a huge scale. The doors open at 4. There's going to be they're going to announce what will be a happy hour from 4 to 7 tomorrow. It'll be easier access. There'll be some benefits and things. VIP tickets are still available. Now listen, look at me in my eyes. There'll be huge benefits said and unspoken about being in the VIP. One, you get a t-shirt from several designs to pick from. You get printed that day. You get a memory. Boom. Not only that, I just, you know, I would think that some of these artists are going to walk amongst the whole crowd because as artists, we like to be amongst their fans, and these guys have a tremendous amount of fans. I would think definitely they're going to be mingling in VIP. That would just be my idea. I could be wrong, but I think definitely getting a VIP ticket would be a great look for this show. I'll be in attendance. I'll be helping out, doing this and that, here and there, running around, trying to make sure things run smooth. DJ Nina, I will go ahead and say it. I agree with Chris. The best DJ in Phoenix, Arizona.
I'll stand by that. I'll stand by that. Like I said, never excited about a DJ in any of these shows, and I'm like, oh man, I've never spent so much energy on a DJ just because I'm excited for this one right here. So.
Right. And I know you and Unique have worked together before. When we worked together, we all three of us worked together before, and I must say, you know, Unique and I didn't know each other, and we were brought together by different factions. And we worked together wonderfully. I think that we accomplished what we needed to. And me being new to what we were doing, she was very helpful to me in a terrific way. So I just wanted to say while we're sitting here together, thank you for that.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. Man, that show, that's another one too. That shows it was fantastic. You know, I had a really great time. That was my first big, actually, as a host. You know what I mean? So I do music, do a bunch of things. Let's just put it that way. But just hosting, that was the first time just doing something like that, and it was exciting. I had a good time.
You know, that crowd you guys brought. I mean, I still stand by it. Stratus hasn't been that packed. We did the first show, and it hasn't been that packed since. And
I agree. From what I've seen,
to the door on that one, and you know, I was getting comments back then. This is a quinceañera hall. What's cool? They didn't know what it was. They 43rd and Indian School. What's that? It's a quinceañera hall. They book in the hotel ballroom and. Man, it's just people still talking about that show. It was great. Thanks to you guys.
It was definitely a great show, and you've put on a lot of great shows. And for promoters, especially as being a promoter when I was one, and for other promoters I look around and work with as a DJ, it's very hard to maintain. There's always ups and downs. Like you said, you're always worried, is it going to be a flop? I haven't experienced you having a flop.
Oh man, yeah,
and maybe you have before I knew you, but at least from what I can see, you're 3 for 3 in the last 3.
The only failures I had, man, was a lawsuit I had to Celebrity. We had to cancel Blueface, which was a sellout. We had he was a Billboard artist now, so we had to cancel him. We had the Daz Band, Gap Band. It's legal matters between me and the Celebrity.
Right. We won't get into that.
No, we won't get into it.
It's ongoing, so we can't get into that.
They were sold out when we had to cancel that show just because of the.
That's such a shame. Yeah.
It's such a shame that we're bringing out a funk festival like that. And,
yeah. I was so excited. I'm an older man. I was so excited about the funk.
I was excited about that. I'm talking to legends like these. I get very humble when I talk to people. Like, it's X-Rated's a friend of mine now. His father passed away. I don't want to say too much on it, but, me and him were talking about it, and it's just, it's... You
have a human connection over something like that. Yeah, and when you have a human connection with someone you looked up to, it is a very humbling thing.
Especially when I was 12 buying his CD at the warehouse. You remember that place? Right. When I heard that, then seen him away for murder, then you actually seen him out there. It's just, To me, it's a big deal. Like I said, I've just always been a fan of hip hop.
X-Rated is one of those guys that their impact didn't really make it all the way to Richmond, the East Coast, where I lived. But I think part of that is a positive thing, because I think a lot of these West Coast artists, at least on the East Coast, we used to be a little jealous because it seemed like you could make enough money just in California or just on the West Coast to where you didn't really need to be nationwide to be wealthy and successful, you know. So that, and the East Coast always looked up to West Coast artists because they did so well in their own state. And let's face facts, California is a big state, you know. So if you can do well in California, you can do well. Unique Divine. This is a big day. This is a big show. We talked about Chris's thoughts day of. What are your thoughts day of, morning of this show? What do you think it's going to be like for you getting ready for this?
Look, I'm just going to be honest. I haven't stopped stressing about this show since Chris put me on the show.
Right. It's a lot of responsibility.
So
people don't understand that.
Yeah. I mean, I think like from the outside, we can make something look easy or look smooth, but when I give people a rundown of not just this is what I'm doing for the show, but this is what's going on in my personal life, or this is what's going on in my music, or this is what's going on here. But then on top of that, guess what? I'm doing this, and that. And it doesn't seem like probably a lot to some people, but also when I actually say it out loud to even other artists, they're like, damn, bro, I'm stressed for you. And I'm like, for real? Like, really? But at the same time, it's just like, I'm excited also, you know what I mean? Chris said he's going to take us on a big trip to Rocky Point. And he said everything on him, so you know what I mean? No, but yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. You know, it's just one of those things where even some of the artists, you know, that are on the show, like I have Ambition. She's part of Brown Girl. She's going to be headlining.
Salute to Ambition. I'm a big fan.
I don't mean to break it up, but the artist she brought out, it looks like America's Top Model out there. You guys, I'll look at these artists like these girls.
Ambition is a pretty lady person. I'm
struggling
struggling over here. I'm trying.
America's Top Model. It's a rap show.
Right. She is. Yeah.
When I sent him the list of artists, you know, it was funny because he was like, what is this, America's Top Model, or is this a rap show? I was like, both. I was like, it's not.
I mean,
it doesn't hurt to be attractive. It never hurts to be attractive.
Hey, we got females that you know,
are talented too.
That are talented.
Like, these girls probably can't. I was like, wait,
not just females, but you know, of course, we got men on there too. But you know, I'm like,
I'm sure some of the men are handsome. Like Chris Cano. I can't judge that. I don't know. I can't understand that. But
listen, I passed by him. I was like, wait a minute, she actually can rap. Let's leave it at that. So
yeah. No, salute to Ambition and salute to Smeared Lipstick Crew is on the bill, right?
Yeah. So Smeared Lipstick Crew. So yeah, we're performing on the main stage. As far as the House of Jewels Desert Blaze Festival, what we're doing for House of Jewels is, as some may know, you know, Jules was somebody was part of Brown Girls movement. She was a big part of Brown Girls movement. So, you know, these were her favorite artists, and, you know, she'd always be the one pushing me. Like when we did that show and I hosted, she was always the one who was like, yo, Unique, like that was bomb. Like you got to keep doing that. You got to keep hosting, you know, and she kind of pushed me to do that, the hosting gigs. But then, you know, just hanging out, everybody just, you know, being as part of Brown Girls, we all got pretty close, and I see what kind of music everybody likes, you know, what people are into, and those right there, that whole list is basically it. You know, so we're honoring her, and that's why we're calling it the House of Jewels, just because it's kind of like, you know, we're gonna have some fun.
That's a great way to honor her.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I have her camp, her brothers, RSC. You know, we have K Marie. She's coming with some dancers. I have Trifecta Media coming. A few different artists. Coop DeVille. You know, Coop.
Yeah.
Ash the Menace. You know, I know Chris is fond of her.
She's got skills.
Yeah, you know, some of these artists, let me tell you, like they haven't done a show like this. I've been blessed to just been grinding my ass off, and I've had opportunities, and I've done big shows, but at the same time I'm able to, you know, be that person where it's like I'm the person they know. You know what I mean? Like when they say know somebody to do this, I'm that person. You know, even with
You're
Nina,
the plug.
Yeah, even with Nina, you know, I knew it too. I was like, she's the person we need. Me and her, you know, just happened to be on a show together, and you know, but even before that, we're talking, and we talked about it, and I think it was kind of like we weren't too sure because there's things up in the air. But once I told Chris, I was like, yeah, I have Nina. He was so excited. He was like,
can I just say one thing to clear the air? You made a post when you were first looking for a DJ,
Yes.
And you said, can anybody direct me? I can't remember exactly how you worded it, but basically it was like, can someone direct me to some younger DJs? I don't know how I don't want any old, whatever.
Discriminating
I just want you to know, as an older DJ,
my hairs popped out.
Yeah, my ear hairs popped out when I heard that. You know, my wife hates my ear hairs, and the ones that grow on the top of my nose now for some reason. But anyway,
forced him into retirement with that post.
Yeah. But listen, I want you to know personally, from me to you, I didn't take, as an older DJ, I didn't take any offense to that because I know exactly what you meant.
Good.
And I appreciate what you're saying. And as a person who's familiar with a lot of the DJs in the city, a lot of us are very old men. And it's time for a breath of fresh air at these shows. And it's time to bring along the youth into our hip-hop culture so that hip-hop doesn't die.
Her soul seems older than yours, man. The way she...
Who, Nina?
Yeah.
Nina's her father's child. And, you know, that's a lot of it. Like I told her, I see his love. I see your father's love of hip hop shine through you, and as a father who has children, man, that like Chris, it just affects me the way y'all's relationship and the way it's obvious that his principles in life and principles of building a lowrider is what guided you and helped you to be a great DJ, and so I appreciate that. And
funny story about that. She was telling me I was in Mexico. The reception was real bad. She was trying to sell me on DJ. I'm like, no, sign her. She's like, she thought I was joking. Like I said, DJ. I'm like, yeah, we'll get one when we get one. And
yeah.
4 people hit me. I'm like, yeah, I'll get one when I get one. I was just probably do it anyway. And she beat you out. Sorry. 4 more
it's all right.
Popped out,
it's
but,
okay. It's all right.
She was telling me she was trying to sell me on it. I'm like, oh hell! I was excited. I was like, it's slipping. But she thought I was joking the whole time.
I was like, look, we got this DJ.
She's
He was like, oh yeah.
She told me, are you playing with me?
Right.
I was like, bruh, all right.
Well, Chris isn't usually that positive when speaking about the unknown. You know, you don't usually jump out the woodwork with, you know, you're usually a little reserved on things.
I'm an asshole 24/7.
Well, I was trying to be a little, you know.
We have a good. You can say it to my face. We
have a good working relationship. You know, I want to keep it going that way.
That's why my circle gets smaller. It's hard to deal with me.
Let's talk about, hey, as a man who sometimes I'm hard to deal with as well, I understand that. Let's talk about November 6th, Too Short, DJ Quick, The Horseman, Corrupt, Razcast, Mr. Capone E, Compton's Most Wanted, RBL Posse, X-Rated, and Spice One. Spice One at the Celebrity put on a great show. Him and the Dog Pound as well. Everybody put on a great show. But I think Spice One, in my judgment, was genuinely excited to do that show.
He rolled up with BG Knockout. He rolled up with the Drayster. Yes. He rolled up with Sibo. He rolled up with everybody. I'm like, man, with that, I was like, man, I got a whole I got 4 more stars here.
Right.
But he came out, and yeah, it was just so much energy. It was funny because I remember Spice One's cassette. I mean, that's how old I am. But we were sitting at the after party in the back room. I got a free bottle at the Monarch. They gave me a free bottle at 2:00.
Right.
2:30, whatever time we got there. We're sitting in the back room just passing a bottle around like a bunch of.
Nice.
And I'm like, holy crap! I'm sitting here with
passing the bottle around,
hugged
right?
up on them. Yeah. Like, it's surreal.
I can understand that. It's surreal for me to meet these people because we've looked up to them most of our lives, and they've provided with so much great entertainment, so much music. I mean, it's been said before, but as someone who had to learn a lot about life outside of my background, you know, and for people that didn't have big brothers, or people might not have had their fathers, these men raised some of us, you know. These men and their principles and what they rapped about in street culture, you know, raised us. So November 6th, I want to go over the details one more time. Fear Farm, 2209 North 99th Ave, Phoenix, AZ, 85037. We got a lot of great sponsors. We've got a lot of great Phoenix artists hitting the main stage. We've got the second stage, which is going to be incredible. Salute to Jules and respect to her. You know, this is going on Saturday. The tickets are at iconicaz.com. The tickets are at desertblaze.eventbrite.com. 4 p.m. is the gate, and 4 to 7 is going to be the happy hour. VIP is available, and I would highly recommend getting VIP. I'll be there. Two Tone will be there. Unique Divine, Coop, DJ Nina is the star DJ all day. So there's no reason not to go this event. We've had a great talk. I just want to go around to each one of you and get final words. And we'll start with the ladies. DJ Nina, since you were here first. Give us your final thoughts over what we've talked about today, about the festival, whatever you want to just, you know, touch on.
Honestly, like, when I first found out about it, like, all the artists in lineup, I'm also surprised too. Like I was just like I grew up with these artists, and I remember like mainly Spice One too. I remember me and my dad were sitting outside.
I thought she said she grew up with Spice One.
No. I remember me and my dad were sitting outside, and he put Face of a Desperate Man, and I was like, that's a good song. Like, and then next thing you know, I'm gonna DJ for him. I'm just
right.
She's actually gonna be his official DJ. So
exactly. And Spice One, as someone on the East Coast, you know, Spice One was directly after Too Short. Spice One was that next guy that we looked to. That, you know, right as, you know, he came out right as NWA was blowing up. But, you know, Spice One is a name that's solid, and we always remembered that. And now you're DJing for him. Isn't that wonderful?
Honestly, like, also is my other final words.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I just want to thank everyone so much for helping me. Like, I don't know. Like, I know I've done other shows before, but this one, it feels really special.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm going to be the main DJ.
That's great. It is. It's going to be a special day. The weather's going to be beautiful. Fear Farm outside. No need to worry about cards or vaxes or proof of whatever. We're all gonna be outside. We've never had a problem with COVID outside. It's a non-issue. Come out, enjoy these West Coast legends. Saturday, November 6th, 4 p.m. is the door. Unique Divine, your overall thoughts on this show?
Well, first of all, I want to give you a shout out for just everything you do in the community.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Also for the opportunity to come sit down today with the team. And but yeah, I'm excited. Of course, Nina. Chris has been working his ass off. I told him the other day, I was like, I'm proud of you. He's like, why? And I'm like, what you mean? I'm like, sometimes I gotta step back and be like, bruh, you know, and you know, it's just one of those things where
she wants to say, I gotta look past his asshole and want to cuss him out every day.
Yeah, even her reaction right now, Nina's reaction, just, you know, this is why we do it. This is why I do this.
Right.
You know, artists who are, you know, grateful, or DJs who are grateful, or anybody, not even just for that, but you know, that's just at the end of the day, of course you want to push that positivity, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's all good vibes. You know, some of the artists, they know each other already. You know, if they don't know each other, they're gonna meet each other, and I just want everybody to have a good time, do what they love, and then go watch a great show. So, you know, at the end of the day, I appreciate everybody who's a part of it. I appreciate the opportunity, and you know, can't wait to see you guys November 6th.
November 6th. All right, so this has been the live show. We'll let Chris top it off just to end it up. This has been the live interview dealing with the Desert Blaze Festival. Fear Farm, 2209 99th Ave. Y'all really need to check it out, man. This is going to be an event. Like I said, this is the biggest show that I can remember in the last several weeks. This is the biggest show I've witnessed happening in Arizona since I've lived here. I've been here 4 years. And it's rare that you get this big of a show with this many artists in this great of a situation, this great weather. And, you know, the price tag is nothing for everything you're going to see that day. And you can support the second stage. You can support your favorite Phoenix artists. You can come have great food and beverages. Mad Turp Labs is going to be there. I'm a big fan of them and everything they do. And, you know, it's just going to be a great day. And there's absolutely no reason for everybody to not come out and enjoy Too Short, Razcast, too many names to mention. Once again, you know the deal. You've seen the flyer. It's going to be a great day. Mr. Cano, what do you want to finish us off with?
My shows, everyone thinks they're fake because of the price. I keep them low for the fans. I want to make sure everybody can come out to these events and have a great time. As you can see, we put on great shows. But
well, let's be honest. There's a big space. There's plenty of room for a lot of tickets to be sold. And so you, again, instead of, you know, getting money off these artists to open up, instead of paying what might be an actual ticket price to see these legends, you again are being very generous. And I just want to say thank you and appreciate that as a fan, as someone who likes to go to shows. And for the people, you know, I'm an older man. I've done some things in life. I might have $50, $100 extra dollars laying around. A lot of people do not, you know. And so to be able to get out and see this show for a good price is a big deal for a lot of reasons.
I got them 4 for $100. I was going to get that special. I said, you know what? I want people to come out and have fun. There's
military discounts.
There's teachers, nurses, everybody.
Everybody, if you're out there doing something real, you can find a way to get a discount.
I want to make sure that it's not about being greedy or making some overpriced, not charging the artist to pay for these acts. We don't need to do that.
One tough question. The only tough question I'm going to ask this whole show. I find no fault in what you do and the way you do things. You do sometimes ruffle people's feathers. Yeah. And we try to be, as men, we try to be fair and honest in our outlook on ourselves in the world, if just you were going to give the main reason why you might have trouble with some people, what do you think that would be?
Because one, I don't hold back. I mean, that's one. But two, I'm cocky, borderline arrogant, but humble at the same time. But the way I want things done, it's going to be done that way.
To me, that's a perfect description of you. And I don't know you well, but we've worked at a few shows before. And to be honest, I even might have been a bit intimidated of you when we first started working together because you were in a stressful situation. You were dealing with some things actively in an aggressive manner, a polite but aggressive manner. And you know, since I've begun working with you, I all of that washed away. You know, I still will keep my respect and my, you know, I don't intend, you know, I don't intend to get in any kind of boxing match with you at all. And I will make sure, hopefully that doesn't happen. But you know, all I can say is that it's a great event. I see no reason for everybody to come out. And as I've worked hand in hand with you on these events, you've been nothing but fair and honest with me. So I just want to put that out to the world.
One thing I said is I'm going to set out, put the best events out there, and I put West Coast concerts back on the map in Arizona. And nobody's done shows like me before. I remember a story when I was counting out $30,000 with E40's manager in the hotel. I'm like, damn, we're doing a drug deal. It's one of my big first events. Mm-hmm. And he's saying, "Where's ticket sales at?" I'm like, we're at 1,100, but we'll sell out. Don't worry. Mm-hmm. His manager laughed at me because the two shows before that were 300 people, 500 people. Man, my heart dropped. I kept face. You know, that's the cocky side of me. I'm like, we'll do it.
Right.
I walked out like, oh shit.
You never know, and like I said to the people walking the door, you just don't know what's going to happen.
I just bought a pretty expensive front row seat of a
concert. You did.
I was nervous, man. I was like, holy crap.
A medium-sized sedan.
Celebrity wasn't ready for Iconic, man. They were understaffed. And, man, I was nervous. Then I got a phone call. Someone said, man, get me inside. Like, what are you talking about? The line is to the street. I'm like.
That's when you start feeling better, right?
I'm like, what do you mean?
That's when you start feeling better.
There it is crazy. I had to sneak everybody through the back that had tickets. So I'm getting people in. I'm like, sigh of relief. So I walked out. I told E4's manager, told you we'll sell out. And now it's early in the story. He says, I'll never come to Arizona. He even commented on Facebook, we don't come to Arizona without Chris. So.
And that's what solidifies your relationship with artists is getting it done.
But because it's just dealing with the aggressive asshole side of it. It's just it's hard.
Yeah.
I don't sugarcoat anything when I tell you something. It's just either you do it or you don't.
Yeah.
Simple fact is.
At the end of the day, it's executive management and it's about getting it done. And that's what Iconic has done over and over again. That's what I expect to see happen Saturday. I'll be there. Two-Tone, the superstar, will be in the building. A slew of Phoenix artists, including Unique Divine, Coupe DeVille, many, many more. I can't name everybody. Along with the greatest group of West Coast legends put together on a show that I've seen since I've been in Arizona. I can't speak to everything. I can only speak to what I see and know. And I see this is going to be a big day. The weather's going to be beautiful. I feel like I'm going to eat and drink and smoke all day and just have a great time.
That's exactly what we want.
I was shocked that More Local didn't bombard Unique for a spot on this, and they're going to regret that day because it's going to be an event for
they are
honestly.
People on the map.
Who I have right now, I'm solid.
You're good,
I'm so happy, and I want to shout out to Greedy Gonzalez also. Shout out to DJ Taka.
DJ Taka,
also he's gonna be helping out a lot. Cool. So just all the artists that are part of it, you guys go out there, kill it, do your damn thing.
Shout out to DJ Taka. Me and him went head to head on the AZMT DJ polls this year, and I just am glad it's anybody but DJ Jamar. That's just, I'm biased.
I'm still shocked I haven't got one vote for Promoter of the Year.
You're so shocked. I can hear the pain in your voice and your laughter.
I laugh. The first time I seen that award, I didn't know any of you guys. I was like, this is blasphemy. What are you guys talking about?
Exactly.
All the big.
Well, they're
a guy for just Thursday nights at a small club that fits 100 people.
Right. I think there's weight classes in boxing. There's leagues. There's different levels of leagues. You may be outside of that. You may be not in that division, if you understand what I'm saying.
I joked on that last poll in there because I got to know everybody. I was still new to the hip-hop scene. I say, you know what? I said, I don't need a vote, but, hey, go attend Desert Blaze, and, that's what it's about. Shout out to the hip-hop scene. Like I said, it's still new to me. I get frustrated with it sometimes.
We talked about that when you weren't here, how artists didn't respond much as they – I told him maybe it seemed too good to be true. Do you think that's maybe what the problem is? Because people are so used to paying for slots or having to sell tickets. When someone says, come be on this huge show for no cost at all, do you think it might have scared them away because it was too good to be true?
That and I don't know, like some of the mentality of some artists, I can't I can't even I can't understand it.
You don't think like them, so you can't get it.
Well, they think that their way to the top is playing second story of the Monarch on a festival. 5 people is gonna break them.
Look, all I know.
Paid $500 for that. I mean,
like you said, I've been in shows in the past. I've opened up for E40. I've opened up for Too Short. I had to put up, hey, this is how much money, and this is that. This is the third. Like I got to do all kinds of things, but I make it. It was so simple. It was so simple. You know, if you sell tickets, great. You make some money. If you don't sell tickets, then you don't sell tickets. I told everybody, hey, the slots are 6 minutes. They're short, but you go out there, do 2 songs, you're out. Like that's it. Like you're in and out. Everybody's in and out. Only people who probably get a bigger slot are people who sold more tickets, or they have, you know, a band, or they have dancers, which makes more sense to me. You know, and it seems as if that even that is like the minimal, you know, wanting a lot for the minimal. I just don't understand that mentality. I can never understand it. You know what I mean? And you know, Chris definitely pushes me to keep on going and keep on going, no matter what goes on around me, just to keep on pushing. And so that's kind of like the mentality that I enforce on my artists. You know, I have a lot of artists that I work with, that I mentor, and I'm like, I just get it done, right? Let's just go. let's just keep it pushing, all right?
Well, look, I'm excited to be a part of this show. I'm so happy to be again working with Unique and Chris, and I'm very honored to be working with you. You know, I'll get you water if you need it, or I'll make sure the stage is run correctly. I'll give you a break DJing, whatever you need. I'm so happy to be working with you.
That's a true star of the show right here.
A true star of the show, no doubt. DJ Nina, Chris Cano, Unique Divine, together under Chris's tutelage, they are Iconic Productions. Big show Saturday, November 6th. Don't miss out. We've got to get out of here. We're running over our time. Thank you so much to each one of you for coming in. There will be clips, and there'll be different things dropping next week from this episode on Facebook and YouTube and everywhere as we gear up this promotion for the final week to get everybody out to see these West Coast legends along with DJ Nina, Unique Divine, Chris Cano, Iconic Productions. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. I appreciate it. It's been a great talk, and I look forward to the show. We can cut it, Mr. Chaos. Thank you to the studio here.